audience and friends. My name is Keisha Sapila. I am a 7th grade student at SMP Islam Al-Hamdiyah. Today I'm going to tell you a story about Little Red Riding Hood. Once upon a time there was a little girl who lives in a village in the forest. Whenever she went out, the little girl would always wear a red riding cloak. So everyone in the village calls her Little Red Riding Hood. One morning, Little Red Riding Hood asked her mother if she could go visit her grandma, since it has been a while since they'd seen each other. That's a good idea, her mother said. So they packed a nice basket for Little Red Riding Hood to take to her grandmother. When the basket was ready, Little Red Riding Hood put on her red cloak and kissed her mother goodbye. Mwah. Remember, go straight to Grandma's house. Mother cautioned, don't dawdle away, and please don't talk to strangers. The woods are dangerous. Don't worry, Mommy, said Little Red Riding Hood. I'll be careful. But when Little Red Riding Hood noticed some lovely flowers in the forest, she forgot her promise to her mother. She picked a few, watched the butterflies flit, listened to the frogs croaking, and picked a few more. Little Red Riding Hood was enjoying the warm summer day so much that she didn't notice a dark shadow approaching from the forest behind her. Suddenly, the wolf was beside the girl. "What are you doing here, little girl?" The wolf asked in a voice as friendly as he could. "I'm on my way to my grandma's house, who lives in the forest near the brook," said Little Red Riding Hood. Then she realized how late she was and quickly excused herself, rushing down the path to her grandma's house. The wolf, in the meantime, took a shortcut. The wolf, a little out of breath from running, arrived at Grandma's house and knocked lightly at the door. Knock, knock. "Oh, thank goodness, dear. Come in, come in. I was worried sick that something had happened to you in the forest," Grandma said, thinking the knock was from her granddaughter. The wolf let himself in. Poor Grandma did not have time to say another word before the wolf gobbled her up. Nom, nom. The wolf let out a satisfied burp. The wolf let himself in to Grandma's closet, find a nightgown that he liked. He put on Grandma's sleeping cap, and to add the disguise, he added Granny's perfume behind his pointy ears. A few minutes later, Little Red Riding Hood knocked at the door. The wolf jumped into bed and pulled the covers over his nose. "Who is it?" the wolf asked in a cracky voice. "It's me, Grandma, Little Red Riding Hood." "Oh, how lovely. Come in, said the wolf. When Little Red Riding Hood entered the small cottage, she could barely recognize her grandmother. "Grandma, your voice sounds so odd. What's the matter?" "Oh, I just have a cold," said the wolf, adding a cough to prove his point. But Grandma, what big ears you have," said Little Red Riding Hood as she went closer to the bed. "So I could hear you better, dear," replied the wolf. But Grandma, what big eyes you have." "So I could see you better, dear." But Grandma, what big teeth you have." "So I can eat you better, dear," said the wolf as he jumped out of bed and began chasing the little girl. Almost too late, Little Red Riding Hood noticed the person on the bed was not her grandmother, but a hungry wolf. She ran across the room through the door, shouting, "Help! Help! There's a wolf!" as loudly as she could. A woodsman who was chopping logs nearby heard her crying and ran as fast as he could to the cottage. He grabbed the wolf, made him spit out the poor granny, who was still a bit confused about the whole situation, but still in one piece. "Oh, Grandma, I was so scared," sobbed Little Red Riding Hood. "I promise I'll never talk to strangers or waddle around the woods ever again." There, child. You've learned an important lesson. Thank goodness you shouted loud enough for this kind woodsman to hear you. The woodsman knocked out the wolf and carried him into the deep, deep forest, where he can't bother people anymore. Little Red Riding Hood and her grandma has a nice lunch and a long chat. The end. The story of Little Red Riding Hood. The story of Little Riding Hood has messages that I think is important. The first message is that you should always listen and obey your parents. As Muslim, this is a part of the Birrul Walidain, or doing good deeds for your parents, and hopefully we'll get Allah's blessing for that. The second message is that you should always be cautious with strangers. We see a lot in the news that people end up in horrific situations because they met up with strangers they met online. May Allah always protect us wherever we are. I'm very grateful to have this time. Thank you for listening, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.